This is Sean White from XDC Network here in Australia. I have a very special guest with me today in the dApp series. We have the fortune of having Amir Neghabian, who is a very new member of the XDC family. You'll speak to Amir for the next 20 odd minutes, and we'll get to know the dApp VitalVEDA in a little bit more detail. So Amir, would you like to say hello?
Yes, hi. Hi, Sean, and thank you very much. It's a big pleasure actually to be here talking to you again. And I'm hope that it's going to be an exciting session for our viewers. And I'm here to answer all the questions, talking about our a very exciting project that I'm actually was working with it, and I was actually just involved with that for the last 3 years, just to initiating it, bring it to this state. And yes, we will definitely cover all the aspects here in our interviews today.
That's fantastic, Amir. As everyone probably knows, my role here in Australia is to build the ecosystem and bring business development together to all the various partners. And we have never had a dApp actually launch from an Australian business yet. We have been very close, and we do have at least one on testnet. But you yourself is on testnet, and I think you're very much finishing up. It's an exciting project because I have worked on using fitness dApps before, and I'm big on wellness. So this brings me a lot of joy here in Australia to be part of this. Please, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration, I guess, to VitalVEDA and how you want to see this roll out?
Of course, very just you will be right on the point. It's a fitness application. Obviously, Australia is the best place to launch such a project, being the resource we have, the interest of the community towards fitness and health and fitness and exercise and everything. And myself, that was so long. Would love to actually have these functional trainings, and there's the training packages and the program that I've seen a lot being actually run by Australian coach, by Australian athletics, by experts, and then become viral, and even they become global. Those actually things was very much scientific way of doing the exercise without actually yourself being pushed to do certain things that you don't like. And it was actually, I had this opportunity to take a part to see that, okay, these are the new trends, let's say, as how we can actually just come up and create some excitement, some scientific way in terms of, giving these things that, okay, you're doing this exercise for a reason. And there is a psychology behind all these trainings that it's been actually just been crafted by the expert in these industries. So this was actually the biggest motivation for me to come up and create VitalVEDA.
I've had a look through the website. I've obviously very keen to get my hands on the dApp that's soon to be launched. I have worked with. I was a beta tester for another fitness dApp a couple of years ago, and I must say it was an extremely motivating experience. There was sort of like a journey of basically documentation of the photos from each week of the 3-month period, and just seeing the results and having that accountability. It's certainly it's like having a personal trainer in some ways, or at least some sort of pressure that's been put on you to kind of be accountable and do what you say you're signed up to do. Do you think it's more of a motivation than having a gym membership? I mean, because it's literally carrying around in your pocket in your phone. Maybe explain your reasonings for bringing VitalVEDA fitness and wellness into a decentralized mobile sort of experience.
Yes, definitely. Look, we all having this experience that we pay for the subscriptions, we enroll for certain gyms or programs, and then things comes up. Maybe, it's the fact that we are unable to attend. Maybe, our agendas, our schedule is not really, workings are getting aligned. And then at the end of the day, we feel bad about, okay, we are missing these things. We have been enrolled, but we didn't have a full commitment. And then that's actually the experience that many people actually, once actually we were in the research phase and we were talking to personnel about their experiences. Many people said that yes, this happened to us. That, for example, some unexpected things suddenly comes up in our life, and we couldn't actually just free up our time to make sure that we are actually right on the track and our mission. So that was actually one thing that we would like actually give that freedom to everyone to make sure that they have this opportunity to train at any time they like to do that. And basically they have the coach, they have their programs, they have their sessions. Just they can just make it at the schedule, and if they miss, it's not a big thing. Definitely they get back to that and they just free up sometimes and make sure that they are right in their track. And then you were mentioning about the motivation aspects. Of course, that's the most important things, to make sure that you get engaged with your audience, make sure that they are coming back again. And how you want to do that is the fact that, okay, that's what VitalVEDA is about. We like actually to get this opinion, this experience from the experts, and encourage them to create the programs that is bringing back people from the industry experts from the inside and so forth.
I am aware that you've done a lot of research and a lot of focus group and group sort of feedback on the development of this dApp. What kind of drew you to blockchain as a beginning step, and how does the AI aspect, how was that critical? Maybe let us in on some of those sort of journey steps.
Of course. Look, I'm actually going through that one by one. Let's actually talk about Web3 and blockchains. Why actually I think that this is going to be a match, perfect match to be in terms of gamification, which actually I love the concept. I used to just write papers about that, having a session as how we can actually gamify our environment, how we can gamify our life, be at any aspect, even a business that we do, even in a working place. And now we are thinking, okay, let's actually just make sure that people are getting enough motivations, they are getting more excitements, and that's a very important element to me. Then with the gamification, of course, you need transparency. You need to actually just be being engaged to show your audience that, okay, in the real time, this is what is happening. And a smart contract and Web3 are the best tools to come and demonstrate that patterns for you, that okay, you have paid, for example, for a program, so you can see that payment, how that payment will be utilized, how we can actually just assign a reward pool, how people get into the ladder board, and how we can actually distributing these points, and at the end, who's going to be the winner. So everything is going to be in the this dedicated smart contract that people can just go and have a look at that. We will build the interface, of course, for that too, to see that, yes, this is my position, this is how much I put an effort. You will have also a personal dashboard on top of that. And then what's going to happen at the end of the program, if I'm going to be entitled to be a winner, and then, just make sure that I will, as a user, I will try my best to position myself in, the place that I would actually tend to be, or, set myself to be at the first place.
Obviously, dovetailing the AI in, I mean, what is that? I mean, is that like a large language model or a micro model?
Sure. No, actually, yes. We said, okay, how the AI will come up to this integration. Obviously, we need a monitoring system, a back-end monitoring system to check and assess your performance, to come up and in the real time to come and say, okay, how your movements, how your exercise and your activities is accurate versus the coach or the experts that been actually that designed that program. So basically, it's video processing, image and video processing that will actually compare one-to-one. So we are using these motion detection systems that people actually just need a smart camera. A smartphone, to just being in the, just placing themselves. The AR will actually come up and said, okay, place yourself correctly. For example, now I'm actually here in front of you, so I'll make sure that I'm in the frame. So that will also help the user to be in the frame. Then I said, okay, you're ready to go.
Okay,
watch the video and just follow.
Yeah, I thought I understood that, but just to clarify, so there is a monitoring aspect, isn't there?
There's a monitoring aspect, and obviously there's the image processing. So it's more of like a machine learning side of the AI to come up and put the images all one together and said, okay, in terms of positionings, then come up with a comprehensive report at the end of the session. Said, okay, for example, you have that much mistake, your accuracy level was that percentage, and this is the score that you're entitled to get. And also at the later stage, we want to just come up and bringing more elements to this factor. How much calorie, for example, you burned through your exercise, and your effort and everything. So if you have, if you stopped yourself, if you paused, and these are the things that it come up and give you a very comprehensive AI-based output. Real time. So that's actually one aspect of it. And second thing is actually the communities and nearby communities as the interest that you have, as a program that you're keep enrolling or selecting to participate. And these are the things that we come up and we start actually giving some sort of very personalized feedback in the terms that we're getting engaged with you, with the user, let's say, to say, okay, what's the user interest? What's the area that they like most? What's their mission? What is their objective? And these are the things that we come up and give them a very good generative sort of output to just guide them, so they don't feel that, okay, they are get lost in the mission and things, and they are not being take care. So these are actually the fact that the functionality of the AI.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. It sounds a lot more intimate than a standalone sort of fairly flat type application. Whilst it's still artificial intelligence, you're still almost getting seemingly a coaching aspect, which I think is quite interesting, and it's certainly going to push a little bit more accountability into the user, and I think that's what we actually want. Would there be a way to sort of mess with the parameters there to kind of make it a very hard taskmaster, or give you a little bit more of a leniency on the thresholds, or is that potentially in the script for future versions?
Well, look, that's the thing, but we trying to be actually come up with a very friendly algorithm. Depends of the a person's fitness level, let's say. Of course, we want to push people to the ultimate. We want actually to encourage them to just try more and try better. But we have to be very mindful. We don't want to cause injury. We don't want to cause disruptions to the people in terms of, saying that, oh, okay, that's too hard. Or maybe, it's causing, damage, or, we just hurt from this thing. So the fact is that, yes, we need actually to be very mindful. We need actually to ask them, okay, what's the level that they actually like to participate? And if that level is too easy for them, then, we just upgrade them to the next level. And we actually just come up and do this sort of assessment, again, with the use of AI.
It sounds quite thoughtfully put together. I won't talk too much about, or I won't ask you too much about tokenomics and sort of that Web3 sort of stuff. But imaginably there is a token, and imaginably there is some sort of reward system to being a good user or a good a wellness person, things like of that nature. And imaginably, you'd probably be hoping for some sort of ecosystem development of your own. So we might leave that to another day, but I'm sure that is certainly going to be a line of questioning. Maybe we can do a follow-up next month, but as we're getting closer to launch, or that you might have actually launched by then. But I do want to actually ask a little bit more about the data side of things, because obviously whenever people hear AI, they kind of think, well, is my data safe? Obviously with blockchain, we tend to assume that things are very much encrypted and very much sort of quantum resistant for that matter. But, would you want to speak a little bit about, anything that might be needed to be said, say about, people's personal information or their biometrics or even their health status, things like that?
Of course, this is a very good, interesting subject, because, my background comes from the medical and health and blockchain's integrations to that. So, that was the very first project that I was working with. And that was actually the fact that, okay, how we can actually come up with a secure platforms, especially in a very much sensitive sort of information that people would like actually to have a full, control of it. The privacy is extremely important, and who's actually going to access this data? And if the data wants to be distributed, then it actually need the permissions of the holders to come and say, okay, now I'm happy to release these things, and maybe I'm actually getting an entitlement to share my data. If that's actually serve any value to any parties, there is research companies, there are pharmaceuticals, there are universities, there are insurance companies, and many parties that they would love to see, okay, how exactly you're doing, what is your fitness level, what's your health status, and so forth. So these things, again, it's very much possible and doable with the technology of blockchain. And that's why actually I'm truly a big fan, since I get to know this blockchain, especially for this utility use of this in this particular sector. And I think that definitely will come up, give the confidence to the users that everything is secure. And then at the generative AI part of it, of course, AI need data. AI need personalized data to make sure that they are actually giving you the best fit and the best output as possible.
That's interesting to hear that your background being in that health industry, it certainly translates and gives you that sensitivity to those sorts of data concerns. Just moving on from that, actually, is that sort of one of the reasons why I guess you kind of leaned into XDC Network itself, or you would have had a good sniff around the industry and seeing what blockchains were available? How is your experience so far with XDC, and what was one of the main reasons why I guess you kind of leaned into XDC itself as your premier launching network? Yeah,
of course. Look, again, you're talking about good partners in terms of supporting us with the infrastructure. We are offering a solution, and definitely, obviously, we need actually all these backend technologies to support us in the course of development. And XDC was one of the options that we were actually examining. I remember at about 6 or 7 months ago, we sit with our blockchain experts. I was getting all the feedback. I said, okay, in terms of scalability, in terms of speed, which is very important in this sort of application, and also, all the different aspects, reputation in the market, what has been built so far and everything. And, we came up with a very positive output feedback at that time. And then, it was a big privilege for us that, we were accepted also to be a partner with XDC and work together to build this exciting project together. And I'm sure, we can grow together. I've seen that since past few months, XDC also come up with a very much exciting project. So I was closely watching all these new integrations that involve XDC chains, and I'm very happy to be a part of these things. I'm sure that by 2025, even there are more to come, and I'm keep hearing from there and here, and there are I had also a chance to see some of the good solutions that XDC was actually supported the back end of it when I was actually attending the last XDC event back in Singapore, and I had a very good talk to the founders, saying that okay, like you're one step ahead of me. What do you think? What has been done? And everyone was very positive, and I was very much delighted to hear all this good feedback at that time.
Yeah, I do recall you being over in Singapore at the time, and that might have even been just after the Web3 auth got integrated. Is that something that might have, buoyed your spirits or kind of pushed you over the line to kind of, sort of build on XDC? Those recent integrations, in particular Web3 auth.
No, actually the XDC things came first.
Okay,
and then we were thinking, okay, in terms of our asset protection, wallets, bringing people on board, signing them, what is the best solution? And we had actually a few candidates at that time.
Okay.
Funny enough, that Web3 Auth at exact same time made a partnership with XDC. And then they actually, everything that's DSK and everything was ready. So we also had a conversation with them. We liked that their solution, especially letting the user to sign up in the Web2 type of style to the application, using their Gmail, using their Facebook, using their Discord, to be able to create a wallet. And that was actually a brilliant idea. I said, okay, because I've seen previous applications, sometimes, for the people who are not very much familiar with this Web3 and blockchain, they get kind of confused, and it's very difficult. It's a challenge for them to come up and use this kind of application. Now we are creating an environment with the help of Web3 Auth to be able to accommodate all type of users, either they are from traditional Web2 or the people who knows how actually they can work with the wallet and signing with the Web3. So that was actually the main reason that we actually just bring these parties on board, and we are happy with this decision.
Yeah, one has to say account abstraction has been probably some of the biggest headline sort of making moments of 2024, and it's very good to see XDC continuing on with their account abstraction integrations. And yeah, most definitely a dApp like yours in particular, I would imagine, but most dApps will really need account abstraction, because look, Web3 is curly, and for an average user, which 7 billion people on this planet are, they're going to need a lot of sort of simplifying. Thanks, Amir. Just looking ahead, I know I did say we will get you back, and I meant that, but maybe just give us a bit of an idea, where you see, maybe just, where we see VitalVEDA. I do know that there is yoga and perhaps other sort of things in the coaching and in the structure of your fitness things, but where do you see VitalVEDA and in the ecosystem developing?
Yes, look, it's things that once we came up with the mission, and we were thinking, okay, what exactly VitalVEDA need to be in a few years, and the scope of all this development. Obviously, this industry is keep evolving, and we need to make sure that we are actually flexible to bringing and adopting all the new trends. And there are lots of developments that we actually put it in our roadmap that we would like to have it in 2025, maybe after we launching our application again, and make sure that time to time we come up and introduce a new concept, maybe a new integration again in terms of technology backend and infrastructure, to make sure that this will actually give a new opportunity. This will actually create a new tools or new systems that people can come up and say, okay, now for example we can use our VR headset too. Now for example we can.
I was going to ask you about that actually. My son's got a VR headset, but yeah.
But again, this very earliest stage, the mission was make sure that we have an application that is accessible worldwide. We're thinking about places that maybe they have less opportunities, in the sense that they get to the functional training due to the distance, due to the where they live, how close and proximities are to the places that they can actually just do their training. So it was actually our missions to make sure that everybody can have a simple device at home, start actually enjoying these things. Then obviously there are a group that they have an access to the VR, they have an access to their IoTs, they can actually connect their devices, their sensors, and then start actually just creating a new journey for those people as well.
I really like your philosophy and your approach, Amir. Not everyone wants to whack a smartwatch on, or obviously have access to goggles and things like that. So congratulations on what you've built so far. Obviously, you're close to launch, and I certainly wish you all the best in the next month. It'll probably be a pretty critical month, and yeah, let's stay in touch, obviously, and thank you very much for your time. Thanks, Amir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed this dApp series with Amir with VitalVEDA, launching soon on XDC Network, and stay tuned.